again, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Because Why. This time, what is the clinical diagnosis for the Joker? Catherine, I wish I could, scoop out my little fun fact knowledge of psychology and, neatly pack it into your head, because I feel like you'd be so much better at answering this question than I am. But I'll do my best, because you asked, and that's how this works, and I'm a good sport. Damn it. So, for those like me who haven't read the Batman comics, Joker's origin story, which I think is a good place to start, is basically that the Joker was a failed stand-up comedian who, due to that, had no money and a pregnant wife. And so he gets mixed up with some mob types to try and do a heist. And while they're trying to do this heist, they're next to a chemical plant. Oops. And he falls into a vat of unspecified chemicals, which then gives him his pale appearance, green hair, and fabulous red lips. Oh, and his pregnant wife dies before the heist even happens. Eesh. So from there, that's when he really amps up his whole game of starting to kill everybody in really twisted and messed up ways. First thing I'm gonna guess is that, when you fall into a vat of chemicals and are permanently disfigured, I'm gonna go with he probably has PTSD. Its full name is post-traumatic stress disorder. Can lead to such symptoms as inability to experience positive emotion or feeling emotionally numb, angry outbursts or aggressive behavior, upsetting dreams about the traumatic event, and trouble sleeping. If you aren't sleeping because you're having hellish nightmares, and you metaphorically feel dead inside, don't you think it's in the realm of possibility that someone who's already a criminal sadist might start killing people off just to have a glimmer of defeals? Secondly, like I just mentioned, the Joker is a sadist. A sadist is a person who derives pleasure from causing pain. So you might be saying right now, but Marin, aren't there normal people sadists out in the world? To which I am happy to tell you, yes, internet friends, there are. Remember, the Batman comics started in the 1940s, and pretty much anything that could be mildly related to sex, SM, BDSM, sometimes can refer to sadist and masochist, was terrifying.
Oh, he's a monster! Oh, because he smoked that reefer cigarette at that party with that loose woman, Janet!
Thirdly, I would also wager that he perhaps also has a personality disorder, like narcissistic personality disorder. Think about it. The Joker gets off on hurting others and seeing others hurt as badly, nay worse, than he was in his accident, thereby putting someone who may perceive themselves as being above him because they look normal, down or under his level. It also kind of helps explain his obsession with Batman. Bruce Wayne is literally a beautiful man with endless resources who attempts to save the lives of everyone because he's got a bit of a Jesus complex. Can you even blame the Joker for wanting to continually mess with him and crap all over his life constantly? It's the Joker's way of saying, I'm the one with control.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
That's my armchair psychologist take. I also posed this question to wonderlib. My fabulous researcher, Sheila, concluded on a different diagnosis. Makes a lot of sense, because when you're quoting actual doctors, they tend to go with what's the easiest answer instead of what's kind of the most fun. Go figure! Her diagnosis boils down to that he, A, suffered from a traumatic brain injury, and also B, he probably has antisocial personality disorder, which is also known by its predecessor terms, sociopathy and psychopathy. So to wrap things up, my glance into the world of Will Graham results in finding that the Joker from the comics most likely suffers from antisocial personality disorder, which may be as a result of or presenting comorbidly with a traumatic brain injury. As a final note, I want to include one of the quotes from Sheila's research she sent to me because it does a great way of explaining that a lot of times in pop culture, mental illness is really misrepresented, as well as how we handle mental illness. To quote, he's often referred to as insane, and of course he's frequently locked up in the Elizabeth Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane. But since insanity is more of a legal term than a diagnosis, he'd more likely be thrown in jail than make out with the insanity plea. As mental health expert H. Eric Bender tells the Huffington Post, just because a behavior is aberrant or considered crazy does not mean that the behavior is the result of mental illness. And so now, after that very long explanation, I have a question for you, Catherine. Is there a word in another language for your significant other sibling that's not in law? Let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye!